get this. The canid was chewing on an honest-to-law human arm. Lucky's arm.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, the arm was clutching a phonograph that mentioned someone named Alex Hawthorne. I did some poking around, and this Hawthorne has a reputation among the salvagers who frequent the bar. So I packaged up the arm nice and tidy and sent it care of the Halcyon Parcel Service. They even gave me a discount on the hazardous waste removal stamp.
Your arm made it to me. I'm Hawthorne's next of kin, sort of.
No kidding. And now you're here? Colony feels smaller than you'd think some days. I'm glad I was here to see this confluence of events, you know? The stars really aligned on this one. And here I am, smack dab in the middle.
Why bother sending the arm at all?
I figured Hawthorne would want to know what happened to his pal. Help Lucky get his affairs in order, you know. Oh, I hate to see people go with unfinished business.
Okay, where was he staying?
3rd floor. Once I figured he wasn't coming back to pay his tab, I left his room unlocked to air it out. You can help yourself to anything you left behind.
Okay.
Fair warning, I've been letting the regulars use it for a quick lie down. Just wash your hands when you're done. Trust me.
Okay, what do you know about Gorgon?
Spacer's Choice used to brew pharmaceuticals in these parts. That's why the asteroid smells like an old gym sock. They say adrenatime came from here, just down the road at the old R&D lab. Very hush-hush back in the day.
Would any of your regulars have more information about Gorgon?
Roscoe might tell you more. He spent some time around here before the bar opened up. And I trust him well enough.
Mm-hmm.
There's always Leonora, my favorite customer over in the storage room on the 2nd floor. Keeps to herself and always closes out her tab.
What's Roscoe's story?
He's been here since opening day. I think he told me he was some kind of journalist.
Okay.
He got left behind when Spacer's Choice pulled out. And I guess no one's coming to get him.
Poor bastard. Are you looking out for him?
Roscoe's drinks are on the house. We all know how it feels to get left behind. He'll be all right. He's with the family now, and we take care of our own.
Why'd he get left behind?
He didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender, not his human resources rep.
Okay.
If you believe the chatter, a lot of good folks got left behind, and a lot of bad folks made it out. Sometimes that's all there is. He didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. I'm his bartender. If you believe the chatter, nice lady. Been coming around a lot these past few months. She isn't with Sublight, but seems to know the lay of the land better than anyone. She spends most of her days drinking alone. I think she's looking to hire someone. If you're open to a side gig.
Do you know if she spoke with Lucky at all?
Now that you mention it, I thought I saw those two sharing stories over a pint. Didn't think twice about it.
Okay.
I don't speak ill of the dead, but Leonora deserves better company. That Lucky was no good for her.
All right, well, thanks for the tip.
What are friends for, eh?
Any idea why Spacer's Choice shut Gorgon down?
I doubt anyone knows the full story. One day the evacuation order went out. Grunts and lab coats scrambled to get anywhere but Gorgon. And the weirdest thing of all, adrenatime still hit the market. Me, I never touched the stuff. To each their own, but I think it's dangerous.
Salvagers must be making a fortune off this place.
Damn right we are. We've got drugs, scrap metal, prototype weapons, drugs, money, and more drugs.
Nice.
When Spacer's Choice evacuated, everyone dropped their gear and ran. Most of it stayed where it fell, and all of it is up for grabs.
Okay.
Of course, the real treasure is whatever's locked up in the old facility. Until someone figures a way to crack it open. We're just sifting through dirt.
All right, well, no further questions.
You got it, bub.
So you run this place?
Yes and no. The Sprat Shack used to be a shipping and receiving warehouse during the old Project Gorgon days. When Spacer's Choice pulled their guys off-world, Sublight moved in to salvage what we could, and they put me in charge.
So Sublight owns the Sprat Shack now?
Yes and no. Rumor has it there's a Sprat wandering around the Groundbreaker, and he's the legal owner of the Sprat Shack. Hagen's idea.
Dare I ask why a Sprat owns this bar?
See, Hagen didn't want a paper trail that led back to her, so she gave the bar to the Sprat. If there were any legal problems with this place, the Sprat would do the time.
Interesting.
You think a Sprat could own Edgewater? Oh, imagine one wearing Mr. Thompson's little hat.
Anyway, that's what the paperwork says. I don't make the rules.
How would you even know which Sprat is the right one?
Easy. His name's Matt.
Matt the
beautiful
Sprat.
thing is, no one could tell Matt Sprat apart from an ordinary vermin. I think that's kind of the point, to send the authorities on a wild Sprat chase.
What happens if Ethel Gabler turns him into Spratwurst?
Never thought about that. Shit, someone could have eaten my boss.
Yeah?
As far as business arrangements go, this one's a head-scratcher, but they say it's all above board, so that's what matters.
Does Spacer's Choice mind that you're squatting in their warehouse?
Yes and no. We're doing a lot more than squatting. We're classing up the joint. Keeping the riffraff outside, where it belongs.
Okay.
They didn't even serve drinks until I arrived. Talk about wasted potential.
Can you answer any question without starting with yes and no?
Yes. And no. Again, that one was Hagen's idea. She told me that speaking in vague terms keeps you out of trouble. And I don't want any trouble in my place.
So how do you get supplies in and out?
Thirsty people come and go from all over the colony. Mostly on the way to somewhere better. Some are well connected. And not everyone pays with bits.
Okay.
That's how we get the unconventional goods anyhow. Sublight keeps us well stocked with the essentials. By which I mean booze.
Okay. Well, how about a drink?
Name your poison.
What do we got here? She have weapons? No weapons. She has armor, though. 18, 18, 18, 18, 18.
I don't want any trouble in my...
I'm gonna have a look around.
Seeing you.
All right.
You're a humbug, Trixie, and that was my salvage, Trixie. You had no right to it then, and you've no right to it now.
I risked my life sneaking around Marauders to claim that wreck. And I didn't see your name on it.
Now you've done it. Eat fist!
All right, that's enough. This is a family establishment. You want to make a mess? You make it outside.
But this was personal, Lex. It's a question of salvage. That wreck was gonna make me a fortune.
Technically, that's business, not personal.
That's what I've been trying to tell him, but he won't listen.
It's the same fight every day. 5 years we've been at this, and we still can't agree on how to properly tag salvage. Now you two listen, this is my place. While you're in the Sprat Shack, you'll sit quietly, or I'll forbid you to come here at all. Is that understood?
Here, here. Boys are for drinking. The poor decisions that result are better left outside.
Fair's fair. I'll have a stout, and we'll settle this later on our own terms.
It's no good to leave a fight unresolved. If I don't do something, these two are gonna be at each other's throats.
I can intervene if you'd like.
You'd do that for me?
For a price.
Nothing's free on Gorgon. You're clever to have that figured out already. Freddy, Trixie, go on and make your case to the generous stranger.
I'll start, seeing as I'm the one who's been most wronged in this equation.
State your names for the tavern.
Oh, very formal. Freddy the Scab, freelancer for sublight salvage and shipping, same as my father before me.
Junkyard Trixie, also a salvage freelancer, though I've been at it longer than Freddy.
So, just up the road and due east of here, there's a shipwreck lodged in the mountainside, right?
Okay.
I staked my claim on that wreck. Then I wandered in for a drink. An hour later, Trixie swaggers in bragging about her salvage. Ugh, the nerve of some people.
How did you mark the claim?
I climbed on top of it and called out in my loudest voice, "Finders keepers!"
Is that legal?
I don't know about legal, but it's legit by sublight standards. Assuming anyone was around to hear it, which we can't know for sure.
Someone must have heard me. They just ain't brave enough to step forward and admit it.
Your case isn't going to be over so far, Freddy.
What if I were to sweeten the deal? Say the salvage is mine, and I'll give you a share of the finder's fee.
Bullshit. That ain't fair.
Give me your side of the story and I'll decide what's fair.
When I found the shipwreck, there were no salvage mark. See, the whole area was teeming with bloodthirsty marauders. So I snuck around and added my tag, clear as day, so no drunken idiots could claim the salvage out from under me, Freddy.
For the record, when I heard the marauders coming, I left. Trixie must have set her mark down after me.
You had your chance to talk.
Sorry, I won't speak out of turn again.
Anyway, that's my story, sir.
What mark did you leave on the salvage?
I drew an X in the dirt with my toe.
Couldn't the marauders have walked over it now? Or the wind blown it away?
Wouldn't surprise me in the least. But that doesn't mean it ain't mine.
In all my years, I've never heard a more contentious argument. I don't envy your shoulders for bearing the weight of responsibility. You've heard it from them both. So, who gets the salvage?
These idiots don't know how to tag salvage, so I rule in no one's favor.
That ain't no kind of fair.
He ain't even from around here, Lex.
Here's a six-pack on the house, plus your fee. Maybe now we'll finally get some peace around here for a change.
Does this happen often?
A little too often if you ask me, but that's the sublight way. Anything worth doing is worth fighting over.
Alright, glad to be of service. See you around.
Come and chat if you ever feel...
That's my captain.
What are you looking at?
Freddy's a blathering idiot, but... he's my blathering idiot.
Watch your step. Von Hoffman sees everything.
Making tracks.
Not so fast. What do you think you're doing? Fine. I got it.
No problem. I'll head over.
On my way, Cap.
Hmm, 200, 200, 200, 200.
Who do you work for anyway? Auntie Pete?
Score, Cap! You make it look so easy. No one's coming. Maybe this isn't a hit.
Buy you another round?
I really shouldn't. But I'm thirsty and I got time, so fuck it. Sure. Sure thing, Cap.
You think the folks here like strangers? Because some of them are looking at us like maybe
this place. You don't look like one of the salvagers, no? Don't really seem like the type.
No.
You've got the look of someone who's traveled far to get here and whose journey is far from over.
What makes you say that?
Confidence. The scavengers around here, they're faking it. You're the real deal. I don't know if you're bound for the old ruins, but in case you are, can you look into something? I'd do it myself, but of course, the Marauders would eat me alive.
Depends on what you need.
Looking for something out there. Been paying Sublight to help me, but they haven't made much progress.
Okay, this something must be valuable.
It is to me, but apparently it's junk to Sublight. My husband and I worked on Gorgon during the good times. Jerome was on maintenance duty. I cleaned out test tubes till they sparkled.
Where's Jerome now?
Nowhere good, that's for sure. In his final hours, Gorgon was a war zone. Violence broke out in the labs. The hills were full of marauders. You couldn't take a leisurely stroll without an armed escort. When the order came through to evacuate, non-essential personnel drew a lottery to see who would board the first wave of ships. Jerome won. I lost. As soon as I wasn't looking, Jerome switched our tickets and pushed me to the front of the line. I got to leave. Jerome stayed behind. I never saw him again.
Well, it's very noble of him.
That Jerome always chose the right thing, even when it got him killed. This place is greedy. Took my Jerome, and it would have taken me too. I just want one thing back. His old hip flask.
Okay.
I gave it to him the day we signed our marriage contract, and he carried it wherever he went. I know it's still here.
If I come across anything, I'll let you know, but, what do you think happened to Jerome?
No point in denying it. He died on this rock. Likely torn apart by marauders, unless he took care of himself on his own terms. I don't like to imagine what happened,
Well,
but I know I have to accept it.
Alright, I could keep an eye out for that flask.
You'd really do that for me? Law, and I'll bet you're worth 10 of those Sublight sprats. I don't have much, but if you help me, there's a little set aside for the occasion. Jerome used to drink with his buddies in a small kitchen opposite the maintenance shed. Might be a good place to check first.
I wanted to ask you something first.
Yeah?
Did you know Lucky Montoya?
That old flirt? Yeah, I let him buy me a drink or two. He talked my ear off about exciting jobs he'd done. All lies, I'm sure.
Probably.
He fell asleep with his head on my shoulder. That man had baggage like you wouldn't believe. I didn't think anyone could be lonelier than me.
Did he mention anything about Gorgon, the Gorgon research facility?
He bragged about having the key to some sort of maintenance area in one of the old buildings. I never saw it, so I just assumed he was talking himself up.
Mm-hmm.
He also asked if I wanted to see something gross and slimy he kept in his room, but I declined, politely.
Was he depressed?
He put on quite a front, but I think he was weary. Like he'd seen too much and had too little to show for it. Guess we were kindred spirits in a way.
That's all. Thanks for your time.
Sure thing. My condolences if you two were close.
Tell me about your time on Gorgon.
The lab coats kept quiet about the project, but the air was charged with excitement. You could feel it wherever you went. They wanted to change the world. A tenfold boost to worker productivity with no side effects? Who wouldn't salivate at the thought? I don't know what went wrong, but when the shit hit the fan, it sprayed everyone in its path, including me.
Alright, we'll be seeing you.
Why'd you want to meet here anyway?
I thought we could have some fun in the ruins. Salvaging, like old times.
I don't know.
Who's this now? Wonder if they could... Nah. Holy shit, a fresh face. Haven't seen your like in years. Don't know what brought you to the most dangerous corner of this solar system, pal. But you're welcome here.
Okay.
Oh, you talked to Lex yet? She tell you to keep it civil? You wouldn't guess to talk to her, but that lady's got a mean left hook.
I talked to her. She mentioned you were some kind of journalist.
Some kind. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Got into reporting thinking I was gonna be some sort of public intellectual. What a joke. Spent 95% of my time playing stenographer to the board, and the rest writing puff pieces on the chairman's latest beard trim. Real life and death shit.
You seem to be having a rough time. Can I help you out?
If you're going back out there, do you think you'd be willing to do an old bastard a small favor?
Helping out old bastards is 80% of my job. What do you need?
You know, that reminds me. I don't think you've ever actually paid me.
Well, I've been trying to get away from this rock for 5 lobby-fucked years, but I can't stay gone.
Why is that?
Told you I was a journalist, right? I was here on a story back when Project Gorgon was active. I was doing an interview series for Spacer's Choice. Recorded them all on these little portable phonographs. But when everything fell to shit, Spacer's Choice wouldn't let me leave. Terms of my reporting contract unmet, they said.
Okay, you hid them and now you need me to get them for you. That about cover it?
Right on the money. Look at me, I'm no fighter. I've never even touched a gun. But you're just the right amount of rough around the edges. Help me get my recordings back so I can finally get the hell out of here.
Why stash the recordings?
Someone had been trying to steal them since the day my assistant and I started interviewing. Couldn't even keep them in my safe. They always found a way in. So I took to hiding them all over the fucking asteroid. Thought I was so clever. What a fool I was.
You mentioned an assistant. Where are they now?
Oh, Georgie? Yeah, she helped me with interviews. A real whiz with the portable recorder tech, too. When things got crazy, I shoved her onto the last ship off Gorgon. With any luck, she's safe and comfortable in Byzantium.
Probably not.
She tried every which way to stay, but it was my contract keeping us here, not hers. Didn't seem fair she'd have to suffer just because I made a bad deal.
Why not just forget the contract and leave?
Oh, I've tried. Make no mistake. I've caught a couple of rides out with sublight folks. But the board's fixers always send me right back. And I'm not about to stand toe-to-toe with marauders just to fulfill a line item on a contract.
Alright, well. It's your lucky day, Roscoe. I'll get those recordings for you.
No shit? That's downright civilized of you.
I know it is.
All right. One of them I stashed in the Office of Creative Incubation, in the projector room on the 3rd floor. I gave another to my friend Birdie to keep in her apartment, just outside OCI's upper entrance.
Why there?
Seems like a good idea at the time. Someone had started a fire, folks were shooting other folks. It was a madhouse.
Alright, got it. Next.
You'll find another in the chem lab. It's in the main lab storage room.
You ran all over Gorgon just to hide your recordings.
Didn't have much of a choice. The primals had gotten loose, couple of them were chasing me. The recordings just ended up wherever I hid.
Alright, easy enough. The others?
The final one is in Human Inquiry and Auditing.
HIA.
It's tucked behind a pipe in Observation Room B.
The observation room. Wouldn't someone have seen you?
What with the test subjects running loose, the researchers were surprisingly unobservant.
Alright, I got it. I'll be back.
Strength to your sword arm, friend. And thank you.
Interesting.
What's the story with this place anyhow?
Used to be a shipping warehouse. Supplies came in, deadly chemicals went out.
Who told you that?
I worked here back then.
Nice one.
What have you got there?
Adrenatime, I think. I found some in an old busted crate.
You're just gonna take some drug you found in the garbage? It's not.
Someone's in here.
It's coming back up again.
Well, it sucks for you, buddy.
I'm all right. That last one really emptied my guts.
Well, actually nice.
I'm going.
Can't do that. I'm coming.
Day 1. Spacer's Choice may have left in a hurry, but they didn't forget to lock the doors on their way out. Most of the facilities are sealed up tighter than a top rung or safe. Time to do some digging. Day 6. Caught a break today. Met a scavenger who claimed to be a salesman for Spacer's Choice. Sold me a key to the Office of Creative Incubation. Let's just say this guy's about as lucid as a sprat in a Rizzo factory. But I'm spending May's bits so I can afford to take a chance. It worked. Clearance, mostly, whoever you are. I'm drinking to you tonight. Day 10. Olivia Ambrose offers journal ought to be in the Synthesis Manufacturing Center. The bad news is it's sealed up and at the ass end of the canyon. The good news is she'll be able to open it from the Big Wiz admin terminal in the OCI. OCI is crawling with marauders, and I've got a few other leads to chase down. Could be nothing, but my gut tells me there's more to this place than a missing journal. Time to turn over a few rocks and see what crawls out. And leaving the OCI in the safe. The combo is 4815. Another one. Several whiskeys and a few bits short last night. Gave Lex maintenance room key while I scrounge up what's owed. Note to self. Pay up, get back before you get... Okay.
Think they stick the preservative in before or after the eye comes out?
I really hope this ain't a sign of things to come.
Sorry about Freddy and Trixie. When they're not fighting over salvage, they're fighting over the bed sheets at night.
Those two are a couple?
They like to blow off steam during work hours, but as soon as they clock out, they turn into a pair of kittens.
Nice.
So, what'll it be?
Did Lucky leave a key with you?
As a matter of fact, he did. Collateral for the bar tab he was racking up. So, I guess it's mine
I'm
now.
gonna need it.
And no, you can't have it.
Like, Lucky wanted you to hold on to me. I'm as next as I
You're
can.
related to Lucky and Hawthorne? That's almost too much. Still, far be it from me to get between a man and his final wishes. Here. I don't know what it unlocks, but Lucky seemed to think it was important.
Alright, I'm gonna have a
Good.
look around.
I've got pain.
Alright, and I think that's as good a place as any. We'll call it a night here, and then I'll try and pick some up a little bit tomorrow.
Don't you worry, Mr. Lucky Spirit. We're gonna finish your work and put you to rest, good and proper.
Whatever's out here, it better be worth carrying around a man's eyeball.
Yeah, let's hope so. Alright. That's all, folks. Have a good night. Thank you for watching. And as always, remember to love each other.